Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new playthrough video. This is actually supposed to be a 2d6 dungeon episode where I play 2d6 dungeon, but I recently got a package from Toby Lancaster, the game's creator, and it made me realize that there's a lot of stuff for this game and I've never really done a video showing you what you should get, what you need to get to play the game, and then what's optional and things like that. So just bear with me. This video will only slow us down by one episode and I'll pick right back up to playthrough in the next episode. What you're looking at here is the 2d6 core rulebook. You'll notice it's pretty thin. It's not a thick book. This is not everything you need. This is the core rules. And with this book comes the tables codex. Now let me explain. The rule book comes in different formats. It comes in paperback. I think it comes in a spiral bound. I could be wrong on that. And I think it comes in a hardback book. There are different versions of this book. But this is not the only thing you need when you buy the game, whether it's print or PDF. This does come with the basic rules, and in the back you get some sheets to track your character and some, what they're carrying. And you also get some basic reference cards. These are reference cards that you can do for the turn. And then there are cards for the gods that will be featured in this game. And then there are cards that are for the herbs and spices, so to speak, that you'll be collecting to make like healing salves and things like that. You get some gridded paper in the back, and in different formats, okay, there's different sizes. And then you get a little summary cheat sheet, bunch of tables that are really good, along with a flowchart. This, again, is not all you need. You will need to get the 2d6 tables codex, because this will give you the rules for playing the game. This gives you all the tables for what you will encounter. That includes the rooms, the monsters, the treasure, the loot. And you'll notice there are generic tables. It's got a really good indexing system in it. The generic tables and their page number. And if you go to the very back, you'll find a list of all the tables by their acronym, so to speak, and the page number. And there's a lot of them, as you can see, okay? And there's some optional charts that you can use, as well as a creature index. Now, what's really cool about this book is, if you get the PDF version, it comes with all the tables and stuff that you'll need, but it also comes with the cards, the monster cards. And you can print these out, sleeve them, and they will serve you as cards. And it's all the levels, level 1 through I think 6, is it? Or level 7, level 8? No, level 10. That's right. You go all the way down to level 10. 1 through level 10. And then the last page has a backer that you could print a bunch of these and insert. If you have a clear sleeve, you could use this to sleeve the back of them. And then there's some optional tables and, like I said, the table index. These two books right here are what you need, along with a bunch of D6 dice. All right? Again, check the video description below, and I will give you links to where you can go get all this. It's available, I think, Toby's website, but I think he may have some other places that you can get this stuff. Core rules, table index. Now, I mentioned the cards right here. This is not required, but you can buy a box of 2d6 dungeon game cards. And these cards match what are found in the tables codex. Now, some of mine, this starts with level 2 because my level 1 cards are actually pulled out for a reason. And you can see they're level 1. Oh, no, there they are. Level 1. Oh, they are in here. Level 2. And then as you go deeper into the dungeon, the number of cards per level starts to decrease. You'll have a lot of level 1s, a lot of level 2s, some level 3s, 4s, and then, like I said, here's the level 3s in blue, the level 4s in purple, level 5s in red, level 6s in yellow. Well, there's a lot of level 6s, not so many level 7s. Ooh, very few level 8s, very few level 9s, and very few level 10s. Inside this deck is another card. Now, it's got those reference cards that I mentioned, but you're also going to find this combat and fatigue card, which is where you'll place D6 to track the round and to track the shift bonus that you get. If those don't make sense to you, you'll need to read the rule book or watch some videos. But this little card is very useful for just tracking these two dice. All right, so again, the cards, actually I need to leave that out. The cards are not required. They come in this nice little box, but you can print your own. But if you don't want to print them, it's definitely something nice to have to reference. Otherwise, you've got to constantly flip through the book to find the monster and, bookmark it. And you might need to go look at a table or something. So there is an advantage to either ordering the cards or printing out the cards from the PDF so that you have them. All right, so core rulebook, tables, codex, and the 2D600 game cards, optional. Now, let me just share two of these things. There's another card in there that has the 10 levels of the dungeon. It's not necessary, but I like to keep it out because each level has a different name, and it kind of gives you a hint about what creatures or what types of enemies you're going to meet. In addition, I don't know if they sell these on the website. I think Toby sometimes tucks these in as giveaways sometimes. There are two bookmarks. I just got this one. I'd never had this one, but I did have this one. This one has, it's like a little mini cheat sheet. It tells you how to roll for room size. It tells you the different kinds of doors, how many doors, if they're, the little table to roll to see how many doors there are and whether they're locked, unlocked. And then on the back side is just a quick little review of how to cast a spell, pick a lock, use your precision, what happens if you make a loud noise, and calling for favor of the gods. Nice little bookmark. I frequently have it sitting up just so I can see it. Now this bookmark surprises me. It has the gem values because you're going to find gems during your dungeon delves. It also has the miscellaneous costs for various items that you might find in the dungeon. And it also continues over here with the armor costs, so you can always keep a track on maybe what you're saving for. You may want to be saving for a piece of armor. And then the cost to buy and sell the different herbs that you find. Now again, I don't know if the bookmarks are for sale. If they are, you should grab them. Hopefully they're not too expensive, but they are useful. And then the last thing I got today, and I don't know if this is for sale or not, it's this double-sided red card. And it's got 4 variants of 4 monsters that you will encounter on level 1. They're all level 1, and it just says variant, and it says 4 types of enemies have been affected by a religious fervor, becoming enhanced and full of rage. Consequently, they are now stronger. So I guess if you find that the crazed preacher, the cultist, the dark cleric, or the infernal monk are too easy on level 1, and I would argue that they are not necessarily easy because I have almost lost to some of them before, you could sub in these. And again, I will try to find out where this bookmark comes from. If it's a freebie, when you order the books, maybe you can get it. Otherwise, maybe look to see if it is for sale. Those are the only little handouts that I have to share. All right, let's get to the other stuff. Toby released this. It's called the Layers Expansion. 2D6 Dungeon. What it is, as you're playing the game, you're going down on a dungeon delve. This allows you to do one-offs. It allows you to roll these layers, and you go into them, and they work just like the 2D6 Dungeon. There are tables that you will reference. There are creatures, and here's the creatures back here. Now, the thing about the creatures is, I don't have these as cards. I could be wrong. There may well be a 2D6 Dungeon Layers card box, and if there is, I will be ordering it. Again, I try to keep up with what's available, and that may just be one that slipped under my radar, but I do know that these cards back here, I don't have. If they do exist as printable cards, I will probably order them. I have not played the 2D6 Layers yet. This is expansion number or volume number 1 that you may or may not want to grab. It's optional. It's not required. Which brings me to the newest releases from Toby. Here it is, 2D6 Realm. Much bigger book. 262 pages plus cover. I have been playing this using the PDF. but I am grateful now to have a print copy because I'm going to do what I did to the core, the Tables Codex, and I'm going to bookmark some pages that I frequently use. This book, it dwarfs, I mean, it makes this book look small. And the 2d6 realm system, basically what it does, it takes the 2d6 dungeon game that you're playing and it allows you to bring your hero above ground, to go explore the countryside, to find ruins, to fight monsters, to discover land and acquire it. It's a really, really cool game. Now here's what's interesting about Realms. You can play this by itself without ever needing to do the above ground. You can play this and just stay above ground if that's really all you want to do. You can also combine this with this and use this to explore the above ground and then head down to your dungeon when you want to go dungeon delving. It's a really neat idea. I think what's really cool about it is if you start playing the overland part and you really, really like it and you don't want to play the dungeon, you don't have to. There is a total way to win this game by playing it and getting your hero to acquire a lot of land and to level up by becoming a lord of the land. And the rules are just all self-contained in this book. Now, there is, what was I going to say? All the charts and stuff are in this book as well. So it's kind of like if you took 2d6 Dungeon and 2d6 Tables Codex and combined them, that's what you'd have here. This book is really all you need, and a bunch of d6s to play the game. You'll also need a pencil and some paper, and probably a lot of paper, and maybe a journal and some other stuff, but you get the idea. This is the game, self-contained. If you want the Dungeon Delve experienced, then you'll want to add the core rules to the 2d6 Dungeon. All right, what Toby has, now I mentioned a minute ago, the Layers expansion, Volume 1. Here's Layers expansion Volume 2, which makes me really now want to start playing the Layers expansion. It says a solo player dungeon crawl. And again, let me read. It says this is the second expansion. To play the Layers, you will need the two. Oh yeah, I should tell you, to play Layers, you have to have the original game. That should make sense, right? This is an expansion to the base game. It's an ancient mine shaft that you will be going down in. It looks, it's got tables, it's got charts. Does it have cards? It has monsters. All right, and yeah, there you go. So that's nice, and again, not required. The 2d6 Dungeon Layers expansion is not required. I suspect if you get into this game and you really, really, really like it, then you're going to want to probably buy the Layers expansion 1 and 2. But hold up. They now have this thing called the Layers Omnibus. I bought it spiral bound. Again, I don't know if this is I'm pretty sure that all of these books are available in paperback, spiral, and hardback. I think I bought this for in spiral just to see if I liked the spiral stuff, but I want to show you. This contains the Layers expansion. It's in there. If we flip up a little bit more, it contains the Layers expansion Volume 2. And then, if you flip a little further, it has a bonus called The Haunted House, which is an expansion that Toby released, I think, either last October or the previous one, I can't remember, for Halloween, and it's bundled in here. So, if you decide that you want the Layers expansion and the Layers expansion Volume 2, you can buy them individually. I certainly would have done that, that's how I did it, but knowing this is available, if I had known that and I had not bought 2d6 Layers Volume 1, I would have sprung for this to get them all in one book. I think Toby's onto something here. Releasing these smaller expansions is definitely a way to keep the game exciting. It adds new environments, new monsters, that kind of thing, new treasures. And so this omnibus makes me think that Toby may be planning to release 2 or 3 things a year and then put them in an omnibus. So we'll have Omnibus 1, Omnibus 2, so on. I don't know. I could be wrong, but Toby's probably watching this video and laughing. Oh, it's got some nice art in the back. Ooh, I really like that. Pictures to inspire. Nice. I didn't see that part. Oh, yeah. Those are pretty cool. All right. Now, one last thing. I mentioned the 2D6 game cards. 2D6 realm cards. These go with the 2D6 realm game, and it's a bigger pack. I can definitely tell it's heavier. I think it feels like it's got more cards in it. But there we go. I can already recognize some of these things. These are things that you would upgrade or build on your land. I recognize the names. Here's the monsters you might encounter above ground. It looks like there's more of them. Let's see. Oh yeah, lots of them. And it probably goes up to level 10, level 4, level 6. They're mixed together. So, and here we go. Looks like some cheat sheet cards. And then it looks like a new god. I remember this one. And then, of course, you've got some new herbs and spices. There is a round and month tracker that is very similar to the combat fatigue tracker. And it looks like a cheat sheet for what happens when you eat certain of these things. What happens? Another quick reference card. It's very, very cool. I cannot wait. I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to need it very soon because I'm getting ready to play some more 2D6 Realm. All right, that is it. If you have any questions, please post them below. I will certainly do my best to answer them. I highly, highly, highly encourage you, if you are playing this game, if you're new to it or a pro or whatever, I highly encourage you to join the 2D6 Dungeon Facebook group. If you're on Facebook. I frequently post questions there and get answers. You get access to Toby Lancaster, the creator of the game. He hangs out there, and he will frequently respond to questions and things like that. But if you're new to the game and you have questions, it's a great place to visit. If you have a question that is really new and hasn't been heard before, it's a great way to post it and find out if Toby has a direct answer or if another player has already asked it and got the answer. So there you go. 2D6 Dungeon Core and Table Codex. The 2D6 Dungeon game cards. 2D600 Layer Expansion Volume 1 and Volume 2 individual. The 2D6 Realm and 2D6 Realm card box. And then the 2D6 Dungeon Layers Omnibus and the little extras that I mentioned that I'm not 100% sure of where they come from. Now, if there are some other things available for 2D6 that I did not mention in this video, please let me know. I'm probably going to go out there tonight to look, but it's always good to know if I've missed something. I believe there are also, I know that there are some third-party products for the game, specifically, and I apologize to the creator for it. I meant to have it in my hand. There is an expansion book that I think has Toby's blessing, and it does corridors. It's encounters for the corridors that you will draw between the rooms. Normally, you don't have encounters in the corridors, but this one adds a little bit of danger and surprises and things like that. Wandering monsters, dropped treasure, that kind of stuff. So there is that. Now, if you know of some other fan-created content that expands the game's play, definitely let me know in the comments so that others can read it as well. And maybe I'll include it in a follow-up video down the line. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for watching as I sort of caught you up on the 2D6 Dungeon, 2D6 Realm world. There's a lot of stuff for it. And again, it's one of those games you don't have to get everything all at once. If you just want to start playing the Dungeon Delve, all you need is the 2D6 Dungeon core rules and the Tables Codex and a bunch of D6s, and you are good to go. All right, that's all I got. I'll see you in the next 2D6 Dungeon. Until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.